Everyone, this is Siobhan, the Communications Manager, and sitting before you is the Emergency Response Team Coordinator, Mr. Frank Riemann. I have asked Frank to just help debunk some of the myths that are associated with the Adventist Development and Relief Agency, better known as ADRA. And as our office is just becoming fully established, we decided that Frank would serve as the best resource. Absolute best resource to answer these questions. And so, for me, as a normal person, Frank, the very first question would be, what is ADRA?
So, ADRA is exactly what the four words describe: Adventist Development and Relief Agency. The A stands for Adventist, which is an Adventist organization. It is established by the Seventh-day Adventist Church. It is owned, if you want, it's governed by the Seventh-day Adventist Church with a separate board, but it's attached to the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And as such, it is not only part of the church, it actually is the church. What ADRA is doing, the next letters, the D for development and R for relief, is the main two activities that ADRA gets engaged in. Relief being the response to emergencies, and that's what people in the Bahamas have just recently experienced, and that's the reason as well why I've worked here for the last 3 months. So in the response to an emergency, we bring relief, which is usually starting by bringing life-saving measures to people who have been affected by the disaster, and then to get people back as soon as possible into a normal rhythm of life, and whatever that takes in the circumstances. In this case here, as people know, is that a lot of buildings have been destroyed, a lot of livelihoods have been destroyed, people are unemployed, children have been out of school, and so that's the areas that we have been involved in after the initial response, where we basically distributed relief items. The D, the development, stands for the other part of what ADRA is doing, which is development. Now, development refers to a term that is community development. Usually what we talk about is that ADRA is working with communities in different countries who are usually vulnerable or malnourished or marginalized or poor by the definitions given in a certain context. And we come alongside with interventions that hopefully assist those people to help themselves to improve the quality of their lives. And these are usually projects that go over multiple years, and they're interventions that are designed in cooperation and in coordination with the community that is affected or is impacted by these things. And those things are funded over a longer period, where disaster relief is usually a short-term, very quick response to things. So that's the D and the R. And then there's the agency, and the agency is just describing how we are organized. As other organizations around the world and other churches or non-church and non-faith communities have organized themselves in organizations and agencies that are doing community development or development and relief. And that's basically where we're coming from. So ADRA is the Adventist Development and Relief Agency of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, engaging in development and relief activities organized through the structure of an agency.